So Andy, you had this idea for a comedy feature. You said that you'd wrestled with in your head for like, what, 5 years or so?
Yeah.
And so somehow then you obtain this camera package, and what happens then? This idea finally you said to yourself, I think this is time to do it, or how did
Yeah, I mean, it was, we were very lucky. Joe was around when I first wrote the initial script, and from the get-go he's like, we need to shoot this thing. And, you know, short non-sequitur, or not non-sequitur, but we ended up trying to make it many years ago, and within 30 seconds realized we were in over our head. We didn't have the experience. We actually had no idea what we were doing, so we stopped immediately.
Yeah, we pretty much, yeah.
It was,
after 2 shots, we were.
It was
okay,
done.
not gonna happen.
Yeah, so we went back to the drawing board, and I wrote many other things for a while, and then Joe called me up one day, and he was like, you know, you really should consider shooting that movie again, or we should try to shoot that movie again. He's like, I think we're ready. And I was like, funny you say that, because I was thinking the same thing. And 3 months later, we were in pre-production. Yeah, so it had happened pretty quickly. And Joe, he runs a creative media company, so he had all of the, Joe Haas Media, he had all of the equipment. So there were very few things that we needed additionally. So we were very fortunate in that regard.
And we had just enough gear to cover the bases. You know, definitely nothing fancy at that time. So.
And we had a couple friends like machine certain tracks.
Yeah, we had built a camera slider. Our friend Tim engineered this camera slider for us that was 8 feet long, so we could do long, slow shots. Unfortunately, a couple of the scenes that we cut were scenes that more of that was featured in. Yeah. But it was a great asset though.
Yeah, there were we built like LED light panels and stuff, and then ultimately didn't really use them. But we used natural light for the majority of the film. But yeah, anything that we didn't have, because we had virtually no money, we either built or just figured out another way around it.
Well, I'd love to hear how you built things, but I just want to go back to that initial start. You said you were, what, 2 days in the first time around?
No, we were about a half an hour in.
You were half an hour in? Okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry. What happened? Like, how much pre-planning did you do?
None. We woke up and decided to start shooting.
That day.
That day, okay.
I mean, I had written the script, and
it was completely unrealistic.
It was idiotic of me to think that it was a reasonable script to shoot. I wrote it in 2 weeks. I had never written anything, and I'm like, here we go, let's shoot this thing. And foolishly, Joe was like, all right, let's do it. And I mean, even more foolishly, I was like, all right, yeah, I'm in as well. And within less than 30 minutes, I mean, it was within the first 2 shots, we realized this is beyond our ability. So, I mean, Joe, and the years from the beginning until when we shot it, Joe worked, he has this creative media company, and just grew as a cinematographer and as an artist, and I just worked on my writing, and traveled all over the place. And then when we finally had that phone call again 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, we decided then that we should take another shot at actually making a full feature. Because we've shot about 10 shorts, but I mean, they're the type of shorts, they're more like sketches, where we would do, 5 in a day, or something, or 5 in one day, and then
some of it was improv, some of it was written.
Yeah, so we just were trying different things out, and then thought we were ready to at least take a stab at a feature, and this is what we ended up with.
So if you were going to go back to those days and give advice to, let's say, your younger self, what would you say?
I'd say you have a lot to learn, and
do some pre-production.
Do some pre-production. Yeah, I mean, that's the only way we were able to. The only way we were able to do what we did with this film was, one, of course, the relationship and the community helped out, but more importantly, the pre-production. We put a lot of time into pre-production because we knew we had no money, and we knew we were going to try to shoot the film. We had 14 days, and we actually shot it in 8. So we knew we had no time, and we knew we were shooting it at a time, and at the end of fall, where snow in Wisconsin was looming at any moment. So there was room for very few mistakes. So almost all of the time went into pre-production until obviously distribution comes along, and then that sort of cripples everything for a project like this. But yeah, I mean, I would say the biggest advice, if you're in LA, I would say head over to Film Independent. Film Independent's incredible. They have just an infinite amount of resources you can utilize. I recently became a member, and just reading through what they have to offer, I sort of kicked myself in the ass thinking, man, how did I not come across this earlier? But I mean, for someone like me, I didn't go to film school. I studied history in college and then decided I want to write. So I read a lot of books and wrote for a lot of years just practicing. But I'm not very good. I've got to work pretty hard at it, so I'm sure other people are better, or maybe pick things up a little more quickly. But I would say you have to do your homework, and to be very realistic about what your goal is. Our goal was, we have this really fun script that makes us laugh and that we enjoyed, and that we wanted to challenge ourselves and try to see what the outcome was. Yeah. Mixed with, we wanted this project to be a stepping stone for further exposure. We had no illusions that this is going to be something insanely successful. In our minds, it's already a success because we did what we wanted to on the schedule that we set, and we didn't have to do anything. We had no other authority that we had to adhere to. It was basically
truly an independent project.
Yeah, truly an independent project. We got to call all the shots. So, and that's what we wanted to do, especially for a film that, once you see the film, it's an oddball comedy, and it's a little ridiculous.